Right. Good morning, everyone. We're still waiting for a couple more people to show up so that we have quorum. But it looks like we have our first and only applicants here for today's agenda. So I will go ahead and start with my exciting recitation of the rules and regulations and procedures. And hopefully by the time I'm through that, we'll have quorum and we can get rolling on this. So this is the November 2nd, 2023 meeting of the Ohio City Design Review Committee. The virtual meeting regulations and procedures. The meeting shall be conducted according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by roll call. I should correct this slide. Recusal due to conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the start of any presentation. Committee members will then leave the meeting for the duration of the case discussion. No presentation submissions will be accepted after the deadline. The chair will call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call of the committee. The administrator will introduce the first project and provide any background information if applicable. The meeting will then be turned over to the applicant to proceed through their presentation. Each presentation should be completed prior to questions and comments from the committee. Once the presentation is concluded, the administrator will read any received comments. The committee will then begin deliberations and project review. Please use the raised hand feature if you'd like to speak. After deliberations and review concludes, the committee will render its recommendation and vote. After the vote, the applicants may leave the meeting and the administrator will introduce the next project. All projects will follow the same format until all projects are heard by the committee. Once all projects are heard, the chair will call for any committee or administrative reports. After all reports have been heard, the chair will adjourn the meeting. Any and all community members may provide their written thoughts or questions and comments regarding the projects presented to the committee for review and approval. Community members may also telephone their comments or questions to the committee administrator. All comments, thoughts, or questions must be submitted to the committee administrator no later than 48 hours before the start of the meeting. Public comment and/or submissions made after the deadline will not be heard by the committee. Public comment will be collected by Landmark staff and sent to the committee members for review prior to the scheduled meeting. Staff will summarize the received comments at the meeting. The applicant of the project is under no obligation to answer any community questions. Community members are invited to attend the design review meetings, but there will be no open public comment period. As a reminder, all projects follow the Secretary of the Interior standards for rehabilitation, and all projects are being considered for the issuance of a certificate of appropriateness. All projects are considered on a case-by-case basis. The Ohio City Design Review Committee is advisory to the Cleveland Landmarks Commission. Recommendations by this committee are not final actions. Depending on the scope of the project, submissions may be approved administratively or will need to be reviewed by the Cleveland Landmarks Commission. Projects that need to go to Landmarks will be scheduled at the next available commission meeting after an action is taken. So with that, do I need to talk longer? It looks like we still need one more. To 4, we need one more person to get quorum here.
Dan, let me reach out to see if people can hop on here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think anyone said they couldn't make it, except maybe. Yeah, I know Margaret will not be able to attend, but she's I think the only one I heard from. All right, looks like we've got Nia here. Should bring us to forum. So I don't know, Alex, do you mind sharing, or do you want
Sure.
to do someone else? Okay. With that, if you want to call the meeting to order and ask for roll call, we can get moving.
Okay, we will bring the Ohio City Design Review Committee for November 2nd, 2023 to order. Dan, please call the roll.
All right, thank you. Mr. Frondorf,
Here.
Ms. Flaherty, Ms. Land, Mr. Lozier, Ms. Marinucci,
Here.
Mr. Persons,
Here.
Mr. Taylor, and Mr. Wall. All right, Mr. Chair, it looks like we have quorum. So our first and only agenda item today is case OC 23-45, 2061 Gehring Street. We have Steve Jennings here from LDA, and looks like the property owner Tom Gillespie is also here. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is going through the Storefront Renovation Program. So it's also had the careful eye of Tim Barrett working on this project, and then also gets the fun of a Section 106 review from the Department of Community Development. So it's had other eyes looking for adherence to the Secretary of the Interior standards. And I think, I don't know if you guys were going for tax credits as well. I seem to remember hearing that. So a lot of input on this one already from a lot of different people. But with all that being said, I'll hand it over to Steve and Tom. And just let me know when you want me to click through slides.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. So yeah, as you said, we are doing the Storefront Renovation Program. We are also pursuing State of Ohio historic tax credits. So we did make some revisions, mostly towards the kind of rear part of the building, based on some of their feedback, but we can kind of go through that. So this is the kind of rendering of the proposed storefront renovations. So you'll see in the next slides, it's a vacant building. So we are completely replacing all the storefront windows and doors. Go ahead to the next. These are the existing conditions. You can see in the back of the building on the top right, all those windows have been previously filled in with bricks. Kind of same thing on the front. Bottom right, you can see the previous storefront openings were filled in with brick, and there's some public art murals that have been over that. And we are proposing to clean the brick on the street-facing facades. On the rear facades, maybe the next slide you might see, those are like a painted CMU on the back. So really all the masonry is really intended to just be restored to the way it was. It's just the existing floor plan. So we are phasing this project. So there's a kind of line there. The front half is like a office space, and then the back is like a open warehouse garage area. So this first phase would include the office portion, which is more of the kind of retail storefront area. Next slide. So this shows the proposed plan. So we are keeping the historic office walls kind of in that middle front section. The very front would be all open. You see on the kind of bottom of the plan there, there's a bump out. That would be a new drive-through window. The center bay facing Abbey Avenue, we're proposing a glass and aluminum garage door. And then the other openings would be an aluminum storefront, all to match. As you go down Gehring, we're proposing 3 small retail spaces. Those are the kind of 3 doors along the side, cut into those existing window openings. At the top on this page, those are our proposed materials. So we have the aluminum storefront on the top left. The kind of storefront bulkhead would be fiber cement panels in that more of a stone color. And the existing brick, and then the painted CMU on the back sides. There's also an existing garage door kind of between the office at the front and the warehouse at the back. So you can see that on the bottom elevation. The east elevation in the middle of the page shows the drive-through window. Then we're also showing or proposing a patio on the Abbey Avenue side. So you see the railing and the elevations where that occurs. And I think the last page was just the site plan.
And Steve, does the sign at the corner on the roof stay?
Yeah, so we are proposing to keep that existing sign. We have to come back obviously with the graphics of what goes on that.
Tom, did you have anything to add, or should we open it up to the commission?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, questions?
I think this is exactly what we would be looking for. You're restoring the building, keeping the window openings. You are adding doors, but I think that's perfectly acceptable. The garage door you show there is an existing garage. And it's basically a restoration of the existing building with some minor and acceptable changes. So I have no questions. Others?
Just one question from me, Steve, really. The patio on Abbey Avenue, and then when it extends onto Gehring, just what's the extent of your site work that you're doing to the sidewalk?
We really are not proposing any site work other than this adding.
Okay. That clarified. I'm also in agreement with Alex that this is great. This is fine.
The windows, I should have asked, the buttons are external, correct?
Yeah, so, and I think one of those pages you just flip by, I think there's one window that was exposed on the back there, so we are matching the existing window pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, just to echo what my colleagues have said, it seems to be a historically sensitive approach, and really no objections or questions on it.
Same. Thank you so much. Motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. Chris, did you second?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, Dan, you want to call the roll?
All right. If there's nothing else, Miss Flaherty,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier, Ms. Marinucci,
Yes.
Mr. Persons,
Yes.
and Mr. Frondorf.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passes unanimously. So yeah, Steve, Tom, thank you guys. I don't think there's any need for this to go to Landmark since it's storefront and everyone here seemed to love it. So yeah, we'll be in contact about next steps when it comes to permitting and everything, but I'll let Terry know down in the storefront that you guys are through our process, and we'll go from there.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan,
gentlemen.
I would like to mark this occasion. It is 11:45 a.m. and this is the shortest design review committee meeting in history. So thank you.
Was I the only one trying to push to oh, come on, we can do this in 1 minute. So if you want to adjourn, we can make it official.
Well, then we will adjourn the November 2nd, 2023 Ohio City Design Review Committee. Thank you all.
Great.
Great
Thanks,
job,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Dan, I think we should
Thanks, guys.
also bookmark this one, the recording, send it out on Twitter and say, in case anyone wants to know how it's done.
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it.
Initially,
This is
do your due diligence,
best
do a good
practices.
design,
Yeah.
bring it
Right.
to us, and then it's a 2-minute yes. So
Yeah.
Post it
Yeah.
on Instagram.
yeah,
Tom and Steve have both
Broadcast
had a
that
little bit of practice with this, so
sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
guys.
Okay, thank you all.
All right, see y'all.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.